we'll hear more from everyone during Q&A, and we'll have discussion after the words. Right now, I want to bring up another member of our commission, Lieutenant Colonel Denny, we call him, Denny Haney. Denny has become our sort of interlocutor with the 13 Hours guys, the ones who wrote the book and were in the movie and spent many hours with them. And so we want to talk about, was there a stand-down order or not? And what are we talking about? Are we talking about that night in Benghazi from telling them not to go from the CIA annex to the Special Mission Compound? Or are we talking about stand-down not to go bring the military assets to bear during the attack? So I want Denny to come up and talk about that. I think you'll get to know Denny here. Come on.
Roger and I have done this before, so he's well aware of what you're getting into. My name's Dennis Haney. I am a Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Air Force, retired. I'm a wild weasel bear. And if you want to know what anything about me, just Google Dennis Haney Wild Weasel, and you will find my stuff in the Smithsonian. No, just kidding. You'll actually find it in the National Museum of the United States Air Force. Some of my stuff from my combat tours there. So that was my war. That was our war. General McInerney's war. Admiral Lyon's war. We've got these four named people out there: Hillary, Diane, Rodham, Clinton. We've got Barack Hussein, Sotaro, Obama. And what's with these four names anyway? The only one I call by four names is Admiral James Ace Lyons. And it's because his first name is Admiral to me. And I'm here to talk about the 13 Hours guys. They're operators. We had a Special Forces Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel, now Colonel, Andy Wood, who was very helpful to our committee, to our commission. He was also very helpful to a lot of the committees, if any of them paid any attention to him whatsoever. He was right up there telling the truth. He's a reservist in Special Forces. He was in Benghazi, or rather he was in Tripoli. He used to run with Ambassador Stevens every morning. He used to have breakfast with him right afterwards, and they knew each other very well, and he knew they needed support there, and so did the ambassador. He really needed it a lot. And Colonel Wood, I say that because he's an operator like the three operators I'm about ready to get into. He said that he told me that he had asked twice to be kept at the Libya, specifically in any area that he could be going to Tripoli or Benghazi with a 16-man Special Forces team, and twice he was told no, he was leaving. He was actually there on other business than Benghazi. And his replacement came in, and he left on the 1st or 31st of August, and you know what happened thereafter. The 13-Hour guys, if you've seen them, read the book. That's the definitive thing. See the movie. And by the way, buy the CD set. There's 7 CDs, and I played them till they wore out. Excellent. And in that movie, a very telling scene right at the end of the movie just overwhelmed me. I had been through the book and the CDs 7 different times. I knew the story inside and out. I talked to these guys over breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and as far away from everything we could get in Montana together, going shooting. The things they told me correspond to anything you've heard them say. I mean, and you look these guys in the eye as one operator to another, and you know they're telling the truth. They've got to tell the truth because as General McInerney, Admiral Lyons, and I, and Admiral Kubik, we all know that you depend on that other guy, and that's why you're there, is for that other guy. So 3 guys came forward out of the 5 remaining. Ty Woods was dead. Glenn Dougherty was a GRS, Global Response Staff person that came in from Tripoli. He brought in 2 Delta Force, 3 other GRS operators, and a translator that crammed into a oil executive's jet and went to Benghazi. That, by the way, was the only airborne approach into Benghazi. So I'll talk to you a little bit. One of the things that I was really interested in is they've gotten a rough shake out of the previous committees they've appeared before, specifically Representative Mike Rogers, House Select Committee, Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. They had a report, and basically they said, you know, no problem here. Hillary didn't do anything wrong. And oh, by the way, this is what the operator said. What the operator said was the truth. But if you read that report, there are 14 instances in it, and Representative Rogers' report, by the way, that was written by Mike Rogers and Dutch Ruppersberger. No one else read or reported or wrote it, Democrat or Republican. No Republican signed it except for Representative Rogers. And I'm here to tell you it's got 14 egregious errors in it. And I will be glad to give those to anybody that comes up and gives my business card afterwards. I'll be glad to tell you exactly what happened. So that's a pack, as far as the operators went, that's a pack of lies. Lies and misstatements, and I would say obfuscations would be the polite way of putting it. You know, I bet you didn't know a guy that flew fighters could say that, right? Much less understood. I think I understood it. Have to check with Emerald Lyons on that one. So we can blow off the House Permanent Select Committee and anything that Representative Rogers says. And I will tell you that throughout the Democrats' version that they put out the day before Trey Gotti put out his report, it's rife with information about the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. And you know, I guarantee you that is a bad, bad source. You can quote me on it as much as you want to, and I'll back it up 100%. Specifically, I asked the three operators from Tripoli, Global Response Staff, CIA, Annex Security Team operators, and I asked them, tell me what's wrong with what's in here. And they said, go to TIG, John Tiggin. TIG came to me with all the information I needed, and I've got it anytime you want it. They put out an article for one of the online news sources. They got it wrong, so come to me for the true word. The next statement is, was there a stand-down order? There was a stand-down. The word stand down, we're told to John Tiggin. That's a fact. You can take that one to the bank. They were told to him by Benghazi Bob. That's what I call him. He's the senior CIA guy at Benghazi. And Claire knows all about that sort of stuff. But at any rate, he told them that. He told John Tiggin those two words. Cristiano Pirano heard him say to John Tiggin, stand down. What Benghazi Bob told Tonto and Oz were directly to their face, do not go. That's what he said. There's an administration, before I even really got involved with this, by the way, I'm from Special Operations Speaks, and as such, thanks to nomination from another air superiority individual on the CCB, I'm here as an Air Force person. But at any rate, what they said was there were two guys that appeared on TV, one rather narrow and one rather rotund that was larger than this, and the other guy you couldn't see him. But at any rate, it's the height of bureaucraties. He stated they were not told to stand down. They were told not to go. Like there's a difference. Now, Benghazi Bob in January came out and said, we've got, there was no stand down order. Look very carefully at his words in his write-up. It says stand down order. And he can get away with saying that because he can say, okay, I didn't give a stand down order. He didn't say stand down. Remember that. That's a bureaucrat talking who was about ready to retire. So, lots to go on here. Sorry. I'm getting two different calls to wrap it up here. And I'm on statement one. Okay, get more time in QA. Okay, we got that. Okay, fine. No evidence to substantiate CIA was collecting or shipping arms from Libya. Okay, we'll just leave that one at that, except Boehner lied to Brett Baer on the 20th of October, 2 days before Hillary lied 4 times under oath to Representative Pompeo. They talk about the timing. As far as that goes, there really wasn't enough time. There was plenty of time, 20 minutes. And they were saying 15 minutes to get those guys ready. They were up, running, and ready, geared up, jocked up, as they called it. They were ready to go, and they could have been there in time to protect, or not only protect, but to save the ambassador and Sean Smith. I talked to Sean Smith's uncle this morning, and he said he's read our report. He got halfway through he got his report. He got all the way through our board, and he says, read this report if you want to know the truth. And that's what I will say. If you want to be able to cogently understand what the heck went on, read that. When Hillary said that the GRS guys were her first line of defense there for her people, she was mistaken, or lied, or didn't know what she was talking about. Take your pick. All three are bad, by the way. And they were there working for the CIA and the CIA only. There are no Jason Bournes in CIA at the operational level like at Benghazi. Those guys were probably checked out in arms, but they weren't on the roof. Nobody had a rifle up on the roof. They were all inside building 19. Or was it building C? I keep forgetting. So like they said, the only thing that's good about this report on the Democrat side is the cover. It's got a picture of 4 operators going. I like that picture. The rest of it is, well, bullshit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dennis.